staff and the management of Persatuan Rugby Union Indonesia, they saw that I could balance the technical and the social sides. So here, in the art of war, in the art of professionalism, in the world of business, leadership and management work hand in hand. So it's safe to say, on one side, we have strategic thinking. This is where we think about the battle, think about the troops. Yeah, this is for our directors. This is for our board, our president directors. But for us, let's look at the operations, our day-to-day. Bagian kita mana sih, ya, yang penting untuk kita? We think about the sports, we think about our teams. Kita pikirkan tim kita, department kita, fungsi kita. Ya, mari kita fokus kepada operationsnya, seperti management and leadership. Di sini juga ya berarti ada strategic dan juga ada operations. So di sini di level-level kita mungkin fokus saja kepada bagian operations. So that was a bit of an opening segment where hopefully sekarang Bapak dan Ibu bisa sedikit mulai berpikir atau terbuka pikirannya bahwa iya ya, ada bedanya di antara management and leadership atau seorang manager and leader. Nah, let's go into the core now of the distinctive skills of a leader. Di sini saya akan bantu Bapak dan Ibu bawa ke 3 distinctive skills. Now, what does distinctive mean? You're asking, yourselves right now. Distinctive here, in my logic, distinctive means unique. Distinctive means a differentiator, sesuatu yang membedakan, yeah, or quote unquote stands out. What makes you stand out from another leader? What makes you different from another leader? What makes you unique from another leader? You need to have these distinctive skills. Seperti yang saya tadi katakan di awal presentasi saya, this is nothing new. In fact, it's been around for hundreds of years bahkan. And for most of you who are a lot more smarter and intellectual than me, yang udah ngambil S2, S3, mungkin S teler sama S campur juga nggak apa-apa, in your field of studies, I bet you've already learned about these things as well. Jadi, I'm here just to help remind you of some of these skills. So, mari kita buka yang pertama. Let's get into the first one. This sounds so easy. It seems and looks so easy, but not many managers can do this. Yeah, bedanya manager and leader. Not many managers can do this. The first distinctive skills adalah the 2 modes of interaction atau 2 mode interaksi. Apa yang dimaksud di sini? Mari kita lihat yang pertama. So if you can see the first diagram, it looks like a triangle. You have 1 head on the top or 1 circle and 3 circles on the bottom with the arrows pointing down in 1 direction. What do you think this may mean or interpret, Bapak Ibu? The 2 modes of interaction. Ini yang pertama. So the first one here is one-on-one. A good leader is able to use one-on-one communications. Buat apa? Tentunya pada saat coaching and counseling, that you recognize within your team, within your department, or within your family, salah satu anak kita, ya, perlu dibimbing, perlu dikasih sedikit mungkin arahan yang lebih spesifik atau khusus, ya. Will you do that one-on-one, Bapak Ibu sekalian? You don't do it in public, you don't do it in front of everybody else, you do that one-on-one, discreetly. And number 2, individual performance appraisals. Yeah, going back to the work life or the work environment, every year, most companies have IDPs or individual development plans, individual performance appraisals, where you sit with your team member one by one and discuss. It's got to be a 2-way process. But again, this has got to be done one by one with your each team member. And the third one is reward and punishment. Obviously, when we're talking about rewards, everyone is happy about it. It's all positive, hurrah. Even you could do this as a team reward. Tidak apa-apa. Tapi ada kadang-kalanya, because everyone's KPIs and achievements are different, berbeda-beda, sehingga mungkin rewardnya juga beda-beda. Sehingga baiknya, it's better to do this one-on-one as well, to let them know what their reward is, whether it's intrinsic or an extrinsic type of reward. And also punishment. Unfortunately, in my career that spanned nearly 22 years, throughout the Asia Pacific region, I've seen some instances where bosses, yeah, quote unquote bosses, not leaders, they punish their subordinates in front of other people. They shout, they scream, they bang their tables, they throw their laptops in front of other people. And I've seen this. And I don't think this is the way to do it. And I'm sure you would agree. So when it comes to reward and punishment, you need to sit down with the incumbent. You need to sit down with the employee. You need to sit down with your child if you have a family and you have children. And if you want to punish them, you need to be clear as to why they're being punished. You know, what's the consequences of their actions, so they will not do it or they won't repeat the same mistake twice. So that's the first mode of interaction as a good leader, as part of the distinctive skills. The second one is like this. Same diagram with the triangle shape, but now as you can see, the arrows isn't just pointing down or one way, but it's going up and down and side to side, left to right. So this, my great people, is when we talk about group communications, group dynamics. And when do we use this? When does a good leader use this? For team targets and objectives. Yeah. When you're talking about your annual, at the end of the year, your annual targets, where you're going as a team, what we want to achieve. The first thing is it needs to be clear. Everyone needs to understand that everyone has their own responsibilities as well and has to be accountable for their actions. So with team targets and team objectives, it's great to speak about it and put everything out on the table. Obviously, the second one is meetings. In my point of view, whenever I hold meetings with my team, yes, okay, I can be the head of the meeting or the chairman of the meeting, but try to give each member, ya, setiap anggota dari tim Anda kesempatan untuk menjadi chair atau ketua dari meeting tersebut. It gives them empowerment. It gives them a sense of belonging, and it gives them a sense of, wow, bos gue percaya sama gue ini sekarang, paling tidak to lead a meeting. At the end of the day, you as the leader will make the decision based on, you know, inputs and feedback from the team. At the end of the day, you are responsible as the leader. But in the meeting, you know, if you empower your team members to speak freely, you know, no risk in terms of, you know, giving opinions, you are going to build a winning team, or you will have the basis of a winning team. And when it comes to problem solving, and unfortunately, again, I've seen this in my career, especially here in Indonesia, apalagi di Indonesia ya Bapak Ibu, seorang bos, seorang manager, kalau ada masalah, 99% of the time that I see, dipendam, atau he or she will keep it to themselves. Kenapa? Karena malu. Because they're embarrassed. They have a problem and diharapkan saya sebagai bos harus bisa mengatasi atau punya solusi untuk masalah itu. No. We're all humans. Kembali lagi ke tadi saya katakan, leadership equals humanship. And within that humanship, people make mistakes. Nobody is perfect. So here, if you as a leader are able to be humble, be open to your team and say, hey guys, we have an issue, we have a problem, we have a challenge. It's like this, this, and this. What are your thoughts? You're bringing your team together again. You're brainstorming. You're letting them come up with ideas, opinions that, you know, maybe before, sebelumnya, Anda sendiri tidak kepikirkan, yeah, or you've never thought of before. So when it comes to problem solving, I urge you as potential great leaders to bring them into the discussion. So my friends, this is the very first of the three distinctive skills of a leader, the two modes of interaction. Now let's go to the second skill. The second skill, yeah, is called the spirit and mind of a champion. Yeah, maybe in Bahasa Indonesia that would be, a spirit is like a roh, yeah, dari seorang pemenang. Yeah, maybe not roh tapi aura, tapi keinginan untuk menjadi seorang pemenang. So what do I mean here as the second distinctive skill, which is the spirit and mind of a champion? Put it this way. Mungkin Bapak dan Ibu bisa ingat 2 atau 3 tahun yang lalu ada seorang atlet Indonesia, ya, seorang sprinter 100 meter. Kalau nggak salah namanya Muhammad Zohri. Beliau champion atau menang atas under 20 world champion, Bapak Ibu sekalian, bukan hanya Asia, bukan hanya Asia Tenggara, tapi U20 world champion untuk 100 meter sprint. Bayangkan, orang kita, anak bangsa kita, fantastic achievement. Tapi tentunya beliau ini tidak wake up one day and suddenly feel, oh, I'm going to run 100 meters and I'm going to do it in 10.20 seconds. Nggak mungkin. No way. So here, he would have had a standard, yeah, that beforehand, while he was in high school, while he was in university or college, he had a standard. Maybe it was at 13 seconds. Mungkin di 13 detik dia bisa lari 100 meter itu sebelum dia menjadi world champion itu. You can see this circle here, this diagram, it's got S1DCA. If I could take you back to your university days atau pada saat Bapak dan Ibu kuliah, ada sebuah management process namanya PDCA, ya kan? Plan, Do, Check, Act. This is exactly it. Nothing new under the sun. Plan, Do, Check, Act. Di sini plan-nya atau P saya gantikan dengan S1 atau standar 1. So si standar pertama ini, si Ade Muhammad Zohri ini, si sprinter ini, tentunya mungkin dia lebih ke 13 detik. Do-nya, dia melakukan, check, dia menganalisa kekurangannya di mana, dan act-nya, dia akan memperbaiki apa yang telah diperiksa. Tentunya dia punya tim, dia punya pelatih, dia punya seorang dokter nutrisi, dia punya seorang fitness instructor, dan lain sebagainya. Di sini kita namanya maintenance S pertama, atau dia maintain standar pertama dia. Sama dengan pekerjaan Anda atau departemen Anda, mau HR, mau finance, mau operations, marketing, sales, tentunya Anda punya standar kerja yang berlaku sekarang. But moving along, masa sih mau gitu-gitu aja? Kapan mau ada breakthrough-nya, Bapak Ibu sekalian? Di sini seorang sprinter Muhammad ini dari 13 detik, tentunya dia punya target, coach, saya mau bisa 11 detik deh. So, yang tadinya S1 di gambar tengah, S1 kembali jadi P. Plan. Tentunya Muhammad ini dengan tim coaching staff-nya harus merencanakan. You have to plan for your next best breakthrough. Di sini, in the Japanese world of management and business process, what do we call this? Sebuah breakthrough untuk kita lebih baik dan lebih baik lagi. Ada istilahnya Bapak Ibu sekalian. We call this Kaizen, continuous improvement. Sehingga, ya, distinctive skill ini kita namakan the spirit and mind of a champion. Ya, spiritnya, bahwa dia tuh terus dan menerus mau cari sesuatu yang lebih baik. Sehingga sprinter kita, si Muhammad Zohri ini, dia merencanakan dari 13 detik di standar pertama, di maintenance pertama, breakthrough-nya dia mau 11 detik. So, dia planning, dia do, mungkin exercise-nya, latihannya, gym fitness-nya, upper body strength, termasuk ya lower body-nya juga, power untuk dia mulai, itu akan berbeda lagi. Sehingga dia bisa menerobos ke 11 detik. Dengan itu, berarti kan ada S2 sekarang. Yang tadi P di tengah, stage 3-nya ada S2. Standar kedua. Dan itu dia maintain. Nah, tentu jangan atau dia tidak berhenti di sini. Same with your team. Don't just be complacent with your performance now. Think about the future. Same with Muhammad, the sprinter, the world champion under 20 for Indonesia. He thought, nope, 11 seconds, I can do better than this. So he does more planning. So this diagram, Bapak Ibu, it can continue and should continue. Sehingga sampai dengan teman kita, adik kita ini bisa terobos sampai 10 sekian detik and become the under 20 world champion. Yeah, so he as the athlete, his coaching staff as well, had the spirit and mind of a champion. Same with your department, same with your function in the workplace. You need to have the spirit and mind of a champion, continuous improvement, and don't settle for second best. Kembali lagi juga, ini bisa diterapkan di tempat social gatherings kita, di lingkungan komplek perumahan kita, ataupun di keluarga kita. As the leader, kita, Anda, Bapak, Ibu, as the leader, you can implement this in your daily life as well. And now we move on to the third distinctive skill of a leader. And here it is, mastering the science of management and the art of leadership. Agak panjang ya, ininya skillnya ya. Let's read that again. Mastering the science of management and the art of leadership. Ini hampir sama dengan yang di awal tadi General Colin Powell katakan. Ya, leadership is the art of accomplishing more than the science of management things possible. Nah, sekarang kita jabarkan itu dalam dunia profesional. Ya, ini mastering, menguasai ya, kalau bisa di bahasa Indonesianya, ilmu dari manajemen dengan seni kepemimpinan. Apa itu maksudnya? Tadi di skill kedua, kita bisa lihat beberapa bola itu ya. The cycle of business, plan, do, check, act, PDCA. Di sini, saya menambahkan, I've added an extra C to become PCDCA. So it's not just PDCA, but it's now PCDCA. Let's have a read and let's have a look what it means. P, we all know what it means, planning. But that planning is only on the science of management. Yeah, everyone can plan to do something, but you as the leader, comes from the social side, Bapak Ibu sekalian. The art of leadership-nya apa? Build dedication. So you as the leader, on one side, di sisi management, ya iyalah, planning sama tim Anda, rencanakan apa yang diharapkan. Fine, standard practice. Tapi di sisi seni kepemimpinannya, yaitu you're building the dedication of your team members. Sebagai seorang kapten olahraga, kapten timnas, sebelumnya, you build dedikasi dari team members kita, dari sahabat kita, sehingga mereka dedikasi terhadap objektif yang ada di depan kita. KPIs kita, yuk kita bareng-bareng berdedikasi ya to a common purpose. Ini yang penting. Sebuah tujuan yang bersama, mutual, a common purpose. Build the dedication. C yang saya tambahkan, or the extra C here, is for coordinate. Yeah. So what's the difference between planning and coordinate, you ask? Planning, okay, you can just put that on your butcher's paper, on the whiteboard, on a piece of paper. Yeah, planning, we're going to do this. But when you start to coordinate, you're starting to put names to action plans. The people who will be accountable for that particular task. Ya kan? Bukan hanya hitam atas putih, ya udah rencananya it looks good. But now when you coordinate, Bapak Ibu, you're starting to put the whens and the hows and the whys, answering all those W and H questions. Yeah, who, what, where, why, when, and how. From the technical side, from the management side. Tapi dari sisi kepemimpinan, apa itu? You form cohesion. Ya, bentuk kohesi bahasa Indonesianya. So what does that mean? Forming cohesion. It's like, if I can use the analogy, and I always like to use sports atau olahraga sebagai analogi saya. Di sini mungkin saya pakai contoh, mungkin teman-teman di sini yang ada mungkin seumuran saya, berarti udah cukup tua ya. Di tahun-tahun 90-an lah, the early 90s, ada satu tim basket, Chicago Bulls. Di situ dipimpin oleh Michael Jordan. Di dalam timnya ada Dennis Rodman, ada Scottie Pippen, ada juga Luke Longley, dan seterusnya. Nah, kohesi mereka sehingga tim ini bisa three-peat, atau bukan hanya setahun tapi 2 tahun, kemudian 3 tahun menjadi world champion in the NBA karena kohesi timnya. Karena saling percaya satu sama lain. Saling backup atau support satu sama lain. Di mana kadang-kadang Scottie Pippen bisa mengoperkan bola tanpa melihat, tapi dia percaya bahwa Michael Jordan akan ada di situ sehingga bisa slam dunk. Ya. Kemudian juga saking percayanya si Dennis Rodman, saking kuat dan tingginya, dia akan ada selalu di situ untuk menjadi defense-nya, Scottie Pippen bisa bergerak dan sebagainya. That's cohesion, Bapak Ibu. Saling percaya. Dan it's not just getting together for that common purpose terus bubar, tapi ada keterikatan yang spesial. Anda bertanggung jawab sebagai leader untuk membentuk kohesi tersebut. Jadi sebenarnya saya intermezzo sedikit, being a leader isn't easy ya, Bapak Ibu sekalian ya. my brothers and sisters, being a leader sounds great. It looks great on the resume, but it's not easy. Yeah. This is part of the skills of being a leader. Kembali ke laptop. We go to D. Do. What do you do from the management side? You carry out the plan. So whatever you planned, whatever you've coordinated with your team, you do it. You carry it out from the management side. But what is it from the leadership side? You're coaching and you're counseling. So while the team is doing their processes, it could be 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, it doesn't matter. However long it takes for your team, every department, every company is different. You as the leader, you have the responsibility to look at your team members, to look at their performance. And if 1 or 2 or 3 or however many of your team members needs a little bit of coaching, needs a bit of counseling, so be it. You got to take the time to pull them aside. Yeah, ingat skills pertama untuk coaching and counseling. So while the team is carrying out the plan, Bapak Ibu sekalian, you as the leader, you're looking out for where your team members needs to be coached further or needs to be counseled further. Di mana mereka butuh arahan dan bimbingan lebih. I'll go to the next one, C, for check. Yeah, PCDCA atau PDCA, C-nya di sini check. Evaluate. Yeah, from the science of management perspective, this is the evaluation process. So you've done it, you've done your plan, and now it's time to analyze and evaluate your performance. Tapi dari sisi leadershipnya apa itu? You appraise and appreciate. Tentunya dalam semua perusahaan, whether it's a big multinational company or a small local company, there are times where you appreciate and you appraise for appraisals, whether naik gaji atau tidak, atau ada bonus atau tidak, ya Bapak Ibu sekalian. This is where you, as the leader, you either appraise them or you tell them there is room for improvement, dan juga you appreciate your team. Sometimes we as the leader, I'm sorry to say, or as the manager, we don't even say thank you at the end of the day. We don't even say thank you for the efforts of our teammates or our team members atau teman-teman kita satu departemen. Atau kapan terakhir we said thank you to our neighbor or our social gathering with our people, with our great people? When? So here, when you appreciate someone, it's as simple as giving them a pat on the back and say, thanks, mate, that was a good job. That was a great job. And things like this can really lift up the spirit and the motivation of your team members. So in check or evaluate in the management side, on the leadership side, you are there to appraise and appreciate. The last step, act. So this is what you do, yeah, after you've evaluated, you act upon it. So from the science of management, it's corrective and preventive measures. Yeah, you set maybe new SOPs, new standards, new protocols for your department on how you want things done. Yeah, to fix what was probably the incorrect ways previously, and preventive measures so they don't happen again from the technical side. But from the leadership side, this is where you as the leader, yeah, kembali lagi kepada Anda sebagai seorang pemimpin, you develop their competencies and their character. This is the best opportunity, kesempatan yang terbaik untuk Anda duduk bersama dengan tim Anda dan mengembangkan kompetensi mereka atau karakter mereka. Mungkin si A perlu dikembangkan di bagian apanya, si B perlu dikembangkan di bagian apanya, dan juga karakternya. You as the leader, you set the standard. Tentunya dong, standar saya begini. Anda kalau mau mencapai standar tersebut, mari kita bersama-sama. Karakternya seperti apa saja. I'm looking for a tough guy, a strong-minded person, doesn't give up easily, so on and so forth. Set the standard, but you have to help them develop that. Kembangkan hal-hal itu. So with this, my friends, hopefully you can now see that there's a difference. There is a line in the sand from the science of management and the art of leadership. Why? Because we want to build winning teams, yeah? Which is my last slide of the day, Bapak Ibu sekalian. Inilah jantung dari tim pemenang. Nah, tim pemenang ini kembali lagi bisa di bisnis, di usaha, di kantor kita, bisa di rumah tangga kita, bisa di lingkungan sosial kita, dan seterusnya. The first aspect of the heart of a winning team yaitu dedication. Tapi dedikasi terhadap apa? To what? Well, it's to your rules and regulations in the company, the SOPs that you must follow. Even something as simple, well, office hours are between 8:30 to 5:30. So it doesn't mean 8:35 or 8:33. It means 8:30. That's dedication, Bapak Ibu sekalian. And if you as the leader can help your team understand that something as small as timing, time management, that's the first sign of dedication. Next one is the trust or the bond that you and your teammates have. Yeah, just like the Chicago Bulls back in the 90s and other teams, ya sebelum-sebelumnya juga atau setelahnya, saling keterikatan, saling percaya, ya, that they trust each other to be there. When I'm sick, I'm not worried about things in the office because I know my friend is going to take over. Or if I'm injured on the rugby field, I'm not going to worry too much because I know my team members are going to take over for me. So that's the trust and bond that you as a leader have in your team. But we must be careful on the next point, the perception of fairness. You as the leader must be perceived as being fair. Fair atau adil. Tapi dalam hal apa adilnya? Well, on how you treat each team member. You must be careful, Bapak Ibu sekalian, that as a leader, you can't have a golden child. Maybe you may have one in here, yeah, but you cannot express or you can't foresee to the other team members that, oh, this one is your golden child, even in your family. For me, I have 4 children, believe it or not, and that's how old I feel. I have 4 children, and out of all those 4, yeah, deep in my heart, maybe there's one that, is a little bit special, further than the others, but you can't let that be perceived by your other team members or other children. Because if it is perceived as unfair, tidak adil, your team will be cracked. Retak tim Anda. Kalau Anda ya terlihat Anda tuh tidak adil. If you're perceived as being unfair as a leader, your team will crack. Your team akan pecah. So just be careful on this point. If you're fair, if you treat everybody the same with equity, not only equality, but with equity, Anda bisa lanjut to the next point, which is clarity. Kejelasan. Kejelasan terhadap apa? Clarity on what? On your targets, on KPIs, on project management, on when things need to be done. Auto boss, on time, on budget, on scale. That's the clarity. Next one is transparency. Yeah, we're being honest with one another. Again, when you have a problem, when you have an issue, that you're going to be open. You're going to let others come in and help you and be honest as well about what the issues are. Yeah, there are some things that from a director's point of view or from the board of management that can't be said, but there are things that can be. You as a leader in your team need to be able to, sort which things that you can be share the information or not. Last but not least is integrity. And in my mind, in my eyes, this word integrity virtually covers it all. It covers professionalism, honesty, goodwill, dan seterusnya. Numero uno, integrity as a leader to build the winning teams. And Bapak Ibu sekalian, if you have this, I am sure, I am confident you will have the heart of a winning team. So, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, this is my session for this afternoon. As I look at my watch, it's nearly 5 o'clock. As I said earlier, this is only a very small part of a more holistic leadership transformation program that I can deliver for you. And if you have any further questions or any inquiries about this program, you can contact Great Day HR and we'll be happy to help you there. Okay, I give it back to you, Ms. Vania. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Pak Bobby. What a fruitful sessions. Kalau misalnya aku boleh rangkum sedikit ya, jadi tadi 3 distinctive skills of a leader. Yang pertama, we have 2 modes of interactions, one-on-one and also group interactions. And then secondly, ada the spirit and mind of a champion. Tentunya harus punya maintenance, and then breakthrough using Kaizen.